Hello folks, today I'm going to do a review of the Eureka TCOP one-person tent, or Tent Combat One Person. There is the bag. It rolls up into about 8 inches by 18. When we take the tent out of the bag, here's what we end up with. Our transport weight is 7 pounds. The main body of the tent is 8 feet by 3 feet 6 inches by 2 feet 9 inches tall. It gives us approximately 27 square feet of living space. It is a woodland camo body with a tan top. It is made out of 70D 89P polyurethane coated ripstop nylon with a bathtub floor. The rainfly as well, again, is 70D 98P, but it is treated with the nylon Blackout, and it adds 17 square feet of space. When we look at the tent poles, they come with their own little bag there. They're 0.344 inches in diameter, and they're the 7075-T9 aluminum poles from Eureka. We also have several lengths of paracord for tying it down. They give us 8 Easton Ultimate stakes with the attached cord for extraction. And then in another bag there is the repair kit, where we have a one-piece frame repair sleeve, a needle, thread, and thimble. We have an extra set of guy lines, 12 feet of cold weather shot cord, 12-inch by 12-inch swatches of all the fabric for the tent, and then replacement toggles, buckles, tapes, and webbing. So now 1 second while I set up the main body of the tent. The first step is fairly simple. Lay the tent out on the ground, assemble your tent poles. They're all shot corded so they go together fairly quickly. Stick the ends of the tent poles in the grommets, cross them in the center, and then there is a small toggle strap at the top of the tent that you use to cross over both tent poles. After that, we're simply going to attach the quick clips to the poles. There's 8 more of those, and that will be done fairly quickly. So here's what the tent base looks like fully assembled. The bottom portion of the tent, which is a bathtub floor, has been treated with the Blackout coating. Notice there's a nice wide nylon door across the entire front. It looks exactly the same on the other side. There is no netting on the top of the tent, but with these nice wide doors, it will help regulate the temperature. Now I'm going to show you why I prefer this tent as a get-home survival bag tent, as opposed to some of the other tents that are fairly similar from Eureka in terms of a half-dome tent. They have their solo tent, they have a couple others that are pretty much exactly the same form factor. The doors vary a little bit. The solo actually has a footprint for the vestibule attached to the tent. How many times have you gone camping and you've seen this? Tents do not hide light well. They end up being a big diffusion bubble. So if you're camping out in the middle of a park or in the middle of a field and you have a light inside your tent, everybody pretty much is going to know that you're there because you're pretty much screaming your presence. One of the reasons I like this tent is because of the Blackout feature. Notice you don't see anything coming out of that base, and when I put the rain fly on it, you're not going to see anything come out of the top either. 1 second while I put the rain fly on, and I'll show you what that looks like in the dark. Here's what it looks like with the rain flying on. Almost no light is coming out. I'm not sure what you can see or not. There's a tiny little bit of light ghosting out at the bottom of the tent. Now I'll open the door just to prove that the light is still on inside there. There you go. So you can see how much that Blackout treatment actually does work in order to keep the light from escaping from your tent. So that's one of the reasons I really like it for a survival tent. If I'm camping in a park or a farmer's field or something, I don't necessarily want to announce my presence. I want to kind of keep a very low profile, and this tent will allow you to do that. So here we are with the lights back on and the rain cover on top of it. You can see it's camouflage on this side, it's tan on the other. I will reverse that in a couple of seconds to show you. But I just want to point out, you can see the vestibules come out in the front, and this is identical on the back on the TCOP tent as opposed to the ICS tent. The ICS tent only has a vestibule on one side. So here's what it looks like with the door open. There's an identical door on the back on that same side. It's primarily a slash door. So here's the vestibule area that's duplicated on the back side. You can imagine it comes out all over here. Gives you plenty of room to put your boots, your backpack, anything that you want to put outside the tent that you don't want to have in with you. Inside the tent, I've left my light on because with the blackout treatment, that is one of the drawbacks. It is fairly dark inside the tent when the rain fly is on. As you can see, it is fairly wide at 3.5 feet. As a younger man, I spent a lot of time backpacking and camping in a tent exactly this size. So that was one of the reasons why I selected this tent as well. Familiar with the dimensions. I like it better than the tube tents. I can sit up a little bit taller in the center for changing clothes or doing tasks when it's raining. So here's the tent with the tan slide out on the rain fly in case you want to have a little bit of a less tactical presence. You're in that state campground as opposed to out hunting. Alright, so now I'm going to try to pan around the tent a little bit so you can get an idea of the tent size. There's the back door again. So this is my review of the Eureka TCOP tent. It's a nice little one-person half-dome tent. With the rain fly on, it turns it into what is basically a full dome footprint. It has 24 square feet of space inside the tent with a top height of 2 feet 9 inches and 17 feet of vestibule space. I like the form factor of a half-dome tent. While this tent is a little bit heavy at 7 pounds, I feel it's worth it if you're looking for a survival bag tent or a very long distance get home bag tent. At that point, you're in more of a marathon than a sprint. Comfort and shelter becomes more key, and I like this tent for the blackout feature of the rain fly where you can maintain a low profile in urban areas. So as always, hopefully this video made you think about your tent selection for a inch bag or a bug out bag or a get home bag. Thank you for watching and please subscribe.